Jim Roman here. Welcome to another episode of the Jim Roman Show. In this episode, we're going to be talking about politics, religion, and the weather. Stay tuned. I'm Jim Roman, your host, and want to welcome you. On a serious note, we're going to be talking about the unknown. The unknown. In these difficult times that we're facing right now, if you're like me, you have good days and you have bad days. And I thought I would do this special episode about how to reset your mindset. Lately, I've been having a couple of bad days, bad moments, and I'm thinking you probably are too. And I thought I'd share with you some of the causes of my bad days and bad moments and how I overcome them. So I want to welcome you and thank you for being here today. If this is your first time, welcome. How these episodes work is I typically talk or train for 20 minutes on a particular topic. Today's topic is reset your mindset, how to get through difficult times and things that you can do to combat those given what we're facing right now. And in the comment boxes, if you have ideas, ahas, or insights that you get through this 20 minutes of training and talking, please post that below. As well, if you're not watching this live, but you're watching the recorded version, please also post in the comments because I revisit these regularly to be able to respond to your comments and or questions. So let's jump into it. Today's episode is how to reset your mindset. So as I mentioned before, lately I've been having a couple of bad days, more than normal. If you're like me, probably you're having the issues with the election and everything that goes on with that. And I have some ahas or insights or things you can do about the election, regardless of who loses. Also talk about things that I do on a regular basis to stay positive more times than not. And then hopefully one of these tips or tricks will make a difference for you now or in the future. So I have them written down in front of me. And so I'm going to go through each one of these one by one. I'll go for about 20 minutes, like I said. If I get through them all, great. If I don't, not a big deal. I think the first 5 or 6 will make a big difference for you. So again, welcome everybody. Good to see you. Let's jump right into it. So how do I reset my mindset? How do I turn a bad day into a positive day? Number one thing I do is how I start my day. I think this is a critical component. I've been in business for over 20 years and I've had many mornings probably like you have. And I find that recently moving to Florida about 1.5 years ago, my morning ritual has made the biggest difference for me having a good day versus a bad day, a better day versus a great day. So for me personally, what I do is the first thing I do is I get up around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock if you look like daylight savings time, but I get up about 5 o'clock. I go into my living room and I get out my devotional. I read a devotional called upperroom.org. And each day I read this. It's the first thing I do while I'm making my coffee. So I read a devotional and I have coffee. I know other people who do meditation and drink tea. Either one I think is great. For me, I love the motivation because reading that devotional puts me in the right mindset. Whether I had a bad day the day before, regardless of that, usually the devotional makes the biggest difference for me. For example, today's, I really like today's, it's about encouraging others in these difficult times. In this particular case, it was talking about somebody volunteering at their church and they were volunteering with 2 ministries. No one recently pat this person on the back. And he started losing his mojo. He started losing his enthusiasm for volunteering at this ministry, 2 ministries. And eventually, not too long after he was thinking this way, he got a note in the mail saying, thank you for your contribution to the church. Thank you for your contribution to the ministries. And it reinvigorated him. And so I would say a third thing, just using the devotional as an example, is encouraging others, being a light in their darkness. So for me in the morning, first thing I do is I make my coffee, read my devotional while my coffee's being made. And I put my mindset in the right set going forward. The second thing that I do a lot of times is I will read my Bible. So this morning I was reading Matthew. I just feel led to read the Bible today and reading Matthew. And it talks about several of the parables that God was talking about, that following him and letting go of your past, letting go of your riches, letting go of your possessions. And what I get out of that, whether you believe or not believe, is so often we hold on to our past issues, our past baggage, our past beliefs that are holding us back from going forward. And I said, let's let that go. Tomorrow, yesterday was yesterday, today is today. Today's the only impact that we really have. Tomorrow, we can't do anything about it because that's tomorrow. And yesterday is yesterday. And so in that morning ritual, I don't try to look on my burdens of my past. I don't look at my problems of my past. I look at my future, that day in particular. So if I could encourage you going forward for this week and for this month, especially during the holidays, one of the ways you can reset your mindset is have a morning ritual. Again, whether like me, I read a devotional called upperroom.org, read my Bible, meditate, have tea, sit outside with a blanket in the cool breeze and just reflect on the many blessings that you have. I would encourage you to consider doing that, because I think will make the biggest difference of turning your good days into great days, and if you're having a bad day, into a better day. What else can I tell about what I do? Number two that I do is I reflect on what we call in business the 5 drivers. The 5 drivers, of which 3 I talk about regularly. The first driver is, why do you do what you do? Or your purpose and passion. I can't tell you the countless days that I want to quit my business. I want to quit just everything. And I stop for a moment and I remind myself my purpose and passion on the planet. If you haven't tapped into your purpose and passion, whether you own a company, work for a company, run several companies, I think it's important to find your purpose and passion. For me, it is making a difference in small businesses and the people that run these small businesses. I don't know if it's because I grew up in my parents' restaurant business, I've ran restaurants, run businesses before, or because I know how hard it is to be a business owner, and it's tough. It is really tough, and sometimes you just don't know why you're doing it. But I remind myself my purpose and passion on this planet is really to help people have a life beyond their business, have a life beyond this existence. And so I might encourage you, if you don't know your purpose and passion, maybe that's where you start to reset your mindset, is really tap into that. And there's the book, The Power of Purpose, that could help you in that. Start with Why by Simon Sinek. It's more of a business book than it is a personal book, but I might go there. And I might just really reflect on that, or reach out to us. And maybe we can take you through a consultation to start to uncover and discover that. So for me, one of the second things that I do to reset my mindset any time of the year is revisit my purpose and passion. Third thing, again, these are no particular order. Third thing is I read. I love to read. I find when I read books, they lift me up. When I don't read books, I get down. One of the latest books that I recently finished this year was Strategic Business Prayer by Don Whitestone. What I love about this book, it's for business, but it's also including prayer in business. And I really love this book for several reasons. It's interesting, in preparing for this presentation, I happened to remind myself that there are 5 levels of prayer. A lot of times people don't know that there are 5 levels of prayer. Most people think there's only 1 level of prayer. God, please give me, give me, give me, give me. Amen. Or maybe the second level, God, please give me and my friends, give me and my friends. But there's actually 5 levels of prayer, and I didn't know that myself at the time. And that's what I love about Don's book. In the book, Strategic Business Prayer, it talks about the 5 levels of prayer. And just for those of you who don't know, I'm looking for my readers. I'm going to do my best to read this. The first level is what's called rote prayers. These are talking at bedtime prayers. Typically, you do this at bedtime. The second level of prayer is strategic request to God. The third level is conversations, listening to God for myself. I don't know about you, but I have promptings every so often. I hear a voice or a whisper, or I have a thought that's not my own. And I didn't realize that at first it was God speaking to me. And so there's that third level, and that's having a conversation with God. The level 4 is conversation, listening to God for those I know. So you're praying for other people that you know and praying for them on their behalf. For example, lately, I have been praying for our leaders of our country. I've been praying for our leaders of the world to be filled with the Spirit, to find the love in their hearts, and to do good, and to knock out evil. And so I've been doing more of that now than ever. And I don't care what your political affiliation, I think we should always be praying for other people, praying for their love and understanding. And then the 5th level prayer Dawn talks about in her book is the 5th one, is conversations, listening to God for those he knows. That's beyond people you know, but he knows. And that's a whole nother level. And so what I love about this is I'm a typical type of person who does a prayer, hey, God, please guide me today. God, please give me the will to do your work today. And that's most of the prayers that I do. But after reading this book, I realized I want to pray for my clients, my community, my family and friends. And then now another level, I'm praying for the leaders of our country and the leaders of our world. And I'm also praying for political affiliations, you know, whether you're on one side or the other or in between. I pray for us to open our eyes to come to the middle. I think if we really took the time to be calm and perspective and really understand each other, I think that we would have more in common than you would think. I digress. I do apologize. The second thing I like about the book, again, you can see how I'm getting excited just reading the book, talking about the book, and that's my point. Resetting your mindset, reading the book and revisiting some of the subjects I found. I'm getting excited. I'm getting out of the rut that I'm in. And this one is on page, I believe, 22, and it's business questions you could be asking in regards to making business decisions. I don't know if you know, you can pray to God that how you should guide your business. And so that's just one of several books that I've been reading. You've heard me talk about small giants in a previous video on balanced books. What I loved about this is 6 companies who chose to be great versus huge. Jim Collins, the author of Good to Great, is quoted saying that this book is for small business as Good to Great, which is his book, is for big businesses. And what got me excited about this to reset my mindset is I only knew 2 ways of running the businesses. One, the way my parents taught me how to run our business, and the restaurant that a gentleman from New York taught me how to run his business. That's only 2 types of business I knew how to run at the time. After reading this, I now have 6 additional ways of knowing how to run a business, and I can choose what I like and what I don't like. And that, my friends, gets me super excited. So I'm going to take a moment to reflect on the comments. Please comment below what you're getting out of this portion of our episode today, whether it is your morning ritual, your morning mindset, whether it is strategic prayer or reading business books. What are the things that you do to reset your mindset? If you would comment below. And also, if you would also, what is one thing you could do to lift your spirits up, become more positive in these difficult times? So if you would comment below as I look at the comments in our comments section. Awesome. Okay, good. Good. Hey, Heather, good to see you. Hey, Trish. Jessica. Hey, Mike. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Awesome. We'll keep on posting that. Again, if you're looking at this recording afterwards, you can post what you're getting out of this episode. I have a lot more to share with you. So let's jump into, as I check my time, I'm doing well on time. What else can you do to reset your mindset? Well, I'm going to go through the speed round because I want to make sure we cover a lot of these. Another thing you can do is eat better. Eat better. I don't know if you know, but a lot of the foods that you eat will mess up your mind. Period. End of story. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. I have a very super sensitive to my body and what affects it. And there are certain foods I eat that make me depressed and other foods that do not. I remember there's a donut place in Richmond, Virginia, over by the airport. I won't mention their name because they have great donuts over by the Richmond airport. They have great, great donuts. But I find when I would eat their chocolate cake glazed donuts, not that you should, but occasionally you treat yourself, within a day, I would start to get mad or angry easily. I remember I was with a friend of mine and I snapped at them and I'm like, what? I don't snap at anybody. Like I just snap at somebody. And they noticed that I snapped and they knew I didn't snap. And well, that was weird. Just didn't think anything of it. Well, a couple of weeks later, we went and got some more donuts and I ate the cake glazed donuts. And next thing you know, within a day, I'm snapping at this person again. And I'm going, okay, let me retrace my steps here. I did that a couple of weeks ago. I'm doing it a couple of weeks now. What is this? Oh my God, I had chocolate donut. There's no way. No way could it be a donut, the chemical, the sugar in it. Well, long story short, third time it happened, I got upset. I snapped and I said, oh my God, no more of those donuts, even though they're amazing by the Richmond International Airport, just saying, but they made me mad. And I hadn't had them forever. And then I had them one more time and it happened again. And my point of this is that there are certain foods that have certain chemicals designed to mess with you. There are chemicals in your food that make you want to eat more. That's why you overeat. There are chemicals that you want to be addicted to that food, so you continue to order that food. And a lot of times people don't realize they don't have a direct correlation to food and your emotions, your food and your mood. I'm telling you, it's fact. You can read it, research it all you want, and you'll find story after story about this being true. And so I say this to you because some of you are not getting ahead, and you're more negative than positive, having bad days versus good days because of the foods that you're eating. And maybe that's one thing out of today that you could do to make a difference going into 2021, to reset your life, reset your business, reset everything. So I didn't realize it until years ago. I have a neurologist chiropractor, Dr. Mark Smith in Midlothian, Virginia, one of the best chiropractor neurologists I've ever used, literally changed my life, taught me about how food affects our moods, food affects our life, and so many other things. And so I would just encourage you that if, again, food seems to be affecting you, take a look at that. Just test it and see if it makes sense to you each week, each night that you do that. What else can you do to reset? One of the things that you could do is go outside. For some of us, we're staying inside due to the situation, Zoom call all the time. Get outside, even for a minute. Get some vitamin D, get some sun in you. A lot of times we get depressed because we don't have enough nutrients or vitamins and minerals in our system. For me, I find that foods are depleted of vitamins and minerals, and so I take supplements. Supplements make sure that I'm getting the right nutrients to keep me happy, keep me positive, keep me healthy. Going outside, though, might make a big difference for you. Just going for a walk. I suggest you go for a walk twice a day, 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, or at lunchtime and right before the end of the day, to be able to get some exercise, to be out in the beautiful air, the great sun that we have going on right now, the cool air and temperatures. So getting outside. Another way of saying that is getting outside your environment. For some of us, our environment is killing us. Bringing us down. I know so many people sit in cubicles, sit in their office and sit all day, and that's not good for your health. And so getting outside or getting outside your environment, I believe, will make a big, big difference. What you'll see is that this is common sense. What other things I'm talking about, but it isn't common practice. And I wanted to share this with you today because I've been having some difficult days. And I've been reflecting as to why. And I'll tell you, one, certain things that I'm eating or drinking. I haven't been going outside as much as I probably should, except this weekend I did do something fun. And I stopped reading. And so I'm thinking that you used to have your routines before all this stuff happened, and maybe you should look at putting those routines back into place. I want to take a footnote right now because I feel someone in the audience right now is thinking about politics. I think that right now you're thinking about, oh my God, what if so-and-so wins? Oh my God, we're in trouble. Or you might say, oh, what if so-and-so wins? Oh my God, we're in trouble. And that, I think, is a big challenge. I was joking about talking about politics, but now that I think about it, I can hear you, I can sense you, I can read you, that I don't think you should worry about who gets elected, because whoever gets elected is already, to some extent, predetermined by the powers to be. And you may not believe in that kind of stuff, but I won't digress. Because I believe that no matter who gets into office, you're going to have challenges. You're just going to have challenges because of the way our country has been divided. So what can we do to reset our mindset is to reach out to your fellow neighbor, your friends, and call them to care. Have coffee with them. Reconnect with them. I saw so much polarization prior to the election, and I'm seeing less polarization after the election. I'm still seeing it, but that energy is starting to dissipate. And I think it comes down to us to let go of our stance of being right and you being wrong. That's what government, that is what politics is about, is making you wrong and me right, and you wrong and me right. And guess what? We lose when we do that. I have friends on both sides of the aisle, both sides. And when I actually have a conversation with them, have coffee with them, have a drink with them, it's pretty interesting when you actually talk about the issues at hand that for the most part we'll agree. When it comes to guns, let's talk about guns. Yep, I brought that up. You're probably going to check out right now, but wait for a minute. If you look at guns, and I'm actually thinking about doing a podcast on Meet Me in the Middle. And if you encourage me to do it, I might just do it. But Meet Me in the Middle is one such that the one side wants safety and the other side wants safety. They both want safe. They want to be safe. And one believes guns make them safe, and one believes no guns makes them safe. The fact of the matter is we both want safety. We want to feel safe. How we go about it, that's the difference. If we can meet in the middle that we want to be safe, and be able to get a little bit more safer, which is not a word, but that's go with me, I think we would have a better world. We'd better have a better life. So I digressed a little bit, but I felt that because of the politics, you're going to determine whether you're going to be happy or not. And I don't think you should do that. I told a story recently about a client of mine. Back in the day when a certain person got elected, they called me up and said, I'm closing my doors. And I'm like, why? Well, so-and-so got elected president. And I'm like, I don't know how the person being president affects you, the small business person. Now, there's some policies and procedures that affect you, but on a larger scale, I don't believe it hurts us on a smaller scale. Trust me, please listen. The smaller scale is our community, our family, our friends. That's what I'm talking about. If we can come together as family and friends, a community of connections, and stop fighting with each other, it'll make the biggest difference for us. I don't know if you're still with me today, but I felt led to share this to you because I've been letting that affect me. I've been allowing what's going on in the world to affect me, and I'm saying no more. No more am I going to do that. I'm going back to my morning rituals. I'm going back to reading again. I'm going back to be creative. I'm going back to going outside. But more importantly, I'm going out to reconnect with all people. To reconnect with all people. I don't care what side you're on. I don't care what you believe, because I love you. And I'm going to care for you. Because we're on this planet together and we have to live together. So let's make it a good thing. So as I finish up, please feel free to put comments and questions below. Hopefully you got something out of today. I have several other things that if me and I were you, and the last thing is at the end of the day, I want to reflect on my many blessings. I want to reflect on my big successes and my small successes. I want to be able to count my blessings, appreciate the life that I have, appreciate the friends that I have like you who are watching this today. Because when it's all said and done, I think that's all we have, put everything aside, all we have is each other. And so I just want to thank you for being a part of my community. Thank you for being a part of my connections. I hope to serve you with many episodes to come. We have some special things coming during the holidays and after the holidays. I think you're going to find as a true treat. So I'll finish this section by saying again, thank you for being here. It's time for us to reset our mindset, coming together as a community, create those reconnections, and care for each other. I'm Jim Roman. The more you know, the more we grow. Now I go into the comment section. For those of you who are new, I go into the comment sections and I read the comments. I also add any future things that I might have missed. Hey, Lori, good to see you. Looking forward to reconnecting with you too. Hey, Beth, good to see you. Awesome. Great turnout today. So this is good. I guess the only thing I would leave, since we finished up the training piece of portion, a couple of other things that I wanted to talk about. I don't know if I mentioned this in my thing. I like to read, and I bring that up again because there's different types of reading. There is nonfiction and fiction, and I think that's a good thing for people to do, is to get away. I watch TV. Yes, I do watch TV. It is to reset my mindset at the end of a hard day. I need to be able to shut down, and I don't want to do that through food and alcohol. So I do that through TV. Some people do that through meditation and yoga. Some people go for walks. Some people spend time with their kids to reset their mindset. For me, another set of books is I like to read are ones that on topics I don't know a lot about. And I did mention being creative. I love creating courses and classes and coaching to help people. Talked about eating better, doing stuff. I did that. And that pretty much is it. I think we've covered everything today. I'm impressed. So for those of you who are still sticking around, I want to thank you. We have a couple of resources for you. If you want to go to my blog at jimromanonline.com/blog, there is an article, I believe, on page 1 on how to turn a bad day into a good day. So I extended this conversation even further on that blog. Also, I'll be probably doing another blog on this very topic to reset your mindset, because with everything going on in the world, again, if we could stop fighting with each other for a moment and respect each other for a moment, I think everything will be well, because we go through these regularly through the elections. It's always this, and at the end we kiss and make up. But this time, I think, I don't know that it was worse than others, because I've not watched it in the past because of this reason. But I still love my friends. I still care for them. I don't think I lost any of them during these difficult times. I probably gained some, because I'm caring more and trying to understand more where they're coming from. So again, thank you so much for being here. Join us next week. We'll be talking about being thankful, the power of a thankful perspective. So we're going to be the power of thanks. Got a special treat for you then as well. So that being said, once again, I'm Jim Roman. The more you know, the more we grow. Have a great day.